Today we are starting the cleanup of another pipe that I've acquired off of eBay. Let me see if I can get the stamp to focus for you. Maxim. Underneath that, A-25. Now the closest I was able to find online for a manufacturer was a German company called Oldenkat. It came up both because I typed in the Maxim stamp and it showed a pipe with a very similar design. Different shape, but extremely similar design to this. And what I was able to learn was apparently they had a subdivision called Torella that manufactured and sold pipes wholesale for the Wohlsdorf, a German chain of tobacco and pipe companies. I think I have that right. They were later manufactured by Design Berlin, and apparently the Design Berlin ones are the ones that are slightly favored in terms of quality. Now I really like this design quite a bit. It has what I feel is a very tiki bar-ish feel to it. And it almost kind of verges on Lovecraftian with these little eyes almost that are carved into it. So I think it has a potential to be a fun pipe to smoke and a good conversation piece. Very clean on the inside. This looks like it was rarely used, so I shouldn't have too many problems cleaning it. Just getting the oxidation off the stem is going to be an issue. So why don't we get started? Okay, after a long time spent cleaning, here is the finished product, which I think came out really well. All the oxidation is off and I have a nice polish on there. When I dissolved the cut, I was using a magic eraser sheet, dipping it in water with OxyClean and the stem head soaked for, I want to say, somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes in the hot water and OxiClean. I realized at some point that the magic eraser was taking a long time to remove the oxidation. Apparently the grit on there is somewhere around 5,000 is what I've read online. So I decided to switch up. I went for one of the lower grit micro mesh pads, one of these guys. I used the 1500 and started using that wet with the OxiClean water, and it just ended up taking off tons of the oxidation. It was really the right way to go. You know, developing that brown gunk, wiping it off, and continuing on. The only problem with the micro mesh pads is getting it into these little areas here. So you end up having to kind of do something like this, you know, just very carefully and very gently. From there, I took it back up through the grits. I didn't use every single grit, but I worked my way up to the 12,000, polished it off really nicely, and then used some white silver polish and applied that and wiped it off with a microfiber cleaning pad, and then applied a layer of mineral oil. It's the Butcher Block conditioner. Here, I'll show it to you guys. This I got at Home Depot for a couple bucks, I think. It's food grade mineral oil, which I think is exactly the type of thing that I want to use. Something that's not going to apply toxins of any kind to the pipe, and something that's going to give it a relatively decent shine and protect it. There is a product out there, I think, made specifically for the vulcanite stems. It's unclear to me what's in it, but I feel like it has to be some sort of a mineral oil. They claim that they add something to it in terms of a UV protectant. I don't know what that is. Since I don't know what it is, I don't know if I want to put that in my mouth when I'm smoking a pipe. So I think this is probably the best way to go. And I definitely would recommend, if you have these vulcanite stems, do not store them in a place where they're going to get direct sunlight. Really, ideally, you would probably put them away inside of a drawer or a cabinet, someplace where it can be just out of light altogether. And as you use it, wipe them down, regularly apply new coats of the mineral oil to it. So I think we're done with the stem. Now I'm going to go back and work on the bowl and apply, I think, the same Butcher Block conditioner to this. I want to try eventually to use beeswax, although I don't think with all of the little crenellations and texture here that I want to try that for the first time with this. I'll wait until I get a smoother surface on the bowl to attempt the beeswax and see how that works. And I can hear some of the thoughts already, well, the beeswax is going to melt if the pipe gets hot. Well, true, but the meerschaum pipes really don't seem to have a problem with it. So it is something I'd like to experiment with to see if I can get a nice, good shine. And I, myself, as a pipe smoker, don't smoke the pipes that hot anyway. So, like I said, it'll be an experiment. But for now, let's get going on polishing this up. All right, flashing forward to the end here. I went ahead and did the final piece of polishing this up, and I thought I had the camera running. I did not. So I'm just going to describe the final process to you. At the very end, what I did was take this Butcher Block conditioner. It contains food grade mineral oil. It says natural waxes. I can't find a description of what the natural waxes would be, but I like that it's food grade. Just applied it with a cloth. On the top side, I took a toothbrush and sort of rubbed it in here. Took a microfiber cloth and sort of polished it in. Put chew coats on. The bottle recommends 3 total, and I might. I have not had any problem with weeping. I've tested out a couple of pipes that I've already put mineral oil on. There were some cautionary tales on the internet, as there always are. I haven't had any problem at all. I think they smoked fine. I didn't get any oil on my hands. It really, I think, is a nice product to use. It doesn't polish to the highest shine as what you might want, but I think it does a good enough job. So I'm anxious to give this one a try. You can see the stem came out really nicely. One of the things I'm concerned about in terms of the smoking is I've noticed with any pipe that I do a thorough cleaning on, the first few bowls have a very soapy sort of taste to them. I noticed it when I first started smoking a pipe, and I almost stopped thinking, I really don't enjoy this, but then I noticed sometimes I wasn't getting it. And it took me a while to figure out, oh, it's on the freshly cleaned pipes that I'm getting this taste. And to address this, I'm not sure what to do. I tried to do a thorough cleaning and rinsing of the stem so that there is no residue of any kind in there for the first couple of bowls. Now, as I go through and clean it, my daily ritual is to run some bourbon through there, as you've seen, and that will eventually, I'll start tasting that a little bit more. The only other thing I can think of is on one of the pipes that I cleaned on a different video. I noticed I got the taste. I was expecting it, so it wasn't a surprise. And then the second bowl I smoked of it, it started out really well, and then I got the soapy taste about halfway through the bowl. So I'm thinking about it as I'm smoking. What is that? What changed? What's different? And the only thing I can think of is that when I get halfway down the bowl and I'm holding the lighter over top of it, like this, the flame is going past some of this bare wood. And so is it the wood and the flame that's producing that soapy taste that I'm getting? I don't know. I think to test this out, another thing I'm going to do is take some ash from a smoked pipe that I've allowed to cool, and then put the ashes in here, coat it with carbon, and see if that does anything. But I'd love to hear anyone's comments on that, what you might think is happening there. Anyway, I think this came out really well. This is another pipe I'm looking forward to smoking, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.